Hola, hola, everybody. How are you guys? It's Fabi Paulini here, in case we haven't met yet. I'm Fabi Paulini, brand strategy coach and web designer. And I'm here today because I just got back from a pretty darn amazing trip to California for this mastermind. And it was really, really powerful, talking about a lot of things that really resonated and spoke truly, genuinely directly to my heart. And I wanted to say something that I learned from this trip that I felt was so impactful. And the truth is that a lot of us have a ton of limitations, like a ton of things and excuses and stories and crap that we've been through, right? And we could all very well argue that these are things that are legitimate, like they're real. They're things that are really there and that have been really holding us back. Like there's no doubt about it, right? I can look at my own life and say the same thing. You know, if you don't know anything about my story, about 3.5, almost 4, like 3.5 years ago, I moved to the US, or I made the decision to stay living in the US after having a business back home that was all word of mouth, all referrals, and where I didn't have to do anything really. Like I was very used to playing very, very small. And we moved to the US, and by moving here, it meant that I had to get out of my little like bubble and cocoon or whatever and play big. And I could have argued that I had never done that before. I could have argued that I didn't like to do videos and I was bad at videos. I could have argued that I didn't see that example around me of a woman being like shining so bright. I could have argued that it was hard. I could have argued that I knew nothing about digital marketing. And in all honesty, I would have been 100% correct. Like it would have been true. There's no lie in anything that I just said, right? Like all of those things are truths. However, they were still irrelevant. There's still things that didn't really matter, because at the end of the day, what mattered was my heart, was my drive, what I needed for myself, for my business, for my family. That is all that really mattered. And what really mattered is that I was going to keep on going forward, or I was going to keep on moving forward despite the fears, despite the stories, despite the limitations, despite the things that would tell me, Fabi, you're not enough, you don't have enough experience, you don't have enough clients, you don't know what you're doing, blah, 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 right? Like that's what have happened. And you know, when I think about what would have happened if I would have listened to those things, like if I would have stayed saying, you know what, like I can't do this because of this, this, and that, what would have happened to my life? Like you definitely wouldn't be here watching this, number one. Number two, the people that I've worked with, like hundreds of clients in the last 3.5 years, wouldn't have had me working with them, and those lives wouldn't have been transformed. But I really think that the biggest thing of all, like the most important thing that wouldn't have happened, was my kids wouldn't have seen the woman that I have become. They would have grown up seeing their mom playing small, hidden, having their dad be the superstar, which we can both be superstars, by the way, and we both are. They would have grown up, you know, with the same pattern that I had grown up and that so many generations before me had grown up about, like, or in the way in which we were acting as women, right? And you might be a guy or you might be a woman, and it's still irrelevant because your patterns and your stories are different than mine. But the truth is that for me, I had grown up seeing women be, you know, wives and moms, and that's it. Like, you know, in all of the women that I had seen in my story, from my family to my friends, to my friends and family, like everybody that I knew, that was the case. And, you know, even if it was a case where the woman also worked or the woman also had her career, it was still always about the guy. It was never about, you know, this superpower woman that was doing all these things and look at her. Like, that's not how I grew up, right? And that's not how most of us grew up. So the fact that I'm doing what I've been doing really has changed the story for me and for my family, and for my daughters to see that, and for all my cousins and all my family members seeing what is possible for them. You know, I have been able to build almost like a $500,000 business, a year business up until now, but I'm building a multi-million-dollar business. Like there is no doubt around it. And I did it, or I'm doing it, Well, I did it because for me, it's already done, right? At least mentally, that's how I see it. It's done. But I've done it despite the fears, despite the limitations, despite the fact that I wasn't ready at first, despite the fact that there's days when I still don't feel ready. Like, it is 100% irrelevant. What really matters is your commitment to what it is that you want. And what you want can be, at first it could be something that drives you because of need. It can be, okay, I need to pay the bills, I need to make a living, like I need to survive. You could start with survival mode, which is where I started. But what happens is that eventually you get to a point where it's not about survival, it's about purpose, like finding your purpose. And I feel like that is 100% what happened with me. I built my business. At first, it was all about, okay, we're staying in the US, we have to build success, we have to do this, it wasn't really about building success, actually. It was about, we have to pay the bills, we have to do this, we have to like make a living. And as time has gone by, I've realized that this is exactly what needed to happen, because I really have found my purpose. I'm really good at what I do. I love what I do. I have a passion for it. I love my clients, and I'm really doing everything in my power to change their lives. I've realized over the past few days, I mean, it's not over the past few days, it's been years in the making, obviously, but I realized that I'm really good. And I know it's kind of crazy, and like you might be thinking like that's kind of random or conceited or whatever, but not everybody cares. I feel like not everybody cares, especially like in the online world. Not everybody cares about their clients. And I really genuinely care about people. Like, I'm here to make a difference in their lives. Like, everything that I learn, I turn around and I teach it back to them. Like, I literally just got a message from one of my clients just a second ago. She just sent me a message. I was asking her because there's like this training that I did, or I have all these trainings that my clients have access to. And one of my clients said, Fabi, like literally, I'm reading it right now. I hear Fabi's voice as I go to sleep. I've watched your videos about 10 times and they're all fabulous. I thought it was kind of hilarious, right? But it really is for me about giving these people everything that they have in their power to stand, like everything that I have in my power to help them stand in their power and make an impact in the world. Like, it is genuinely important to me. And if all the crap that has happened in my life, which isn't that much, but it's still been my crap, you know what I mean? All the stuff, the hardships, the tears, the sweat, the difficult times, the challenges, the days in which I've woken up every morning thinking that I'm not enough or I won't be able to do it. If all those things would have happened, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And all of those limitations, all those stories, all of those beliefs, all of those excuses, the lack of resources, or whatever you say that is going on in your life, these are all things that might be true, but they're also the things that made you who you are. And they're also the things that you can let go of. If all of those things that have happened to you up until now, like, they've happened to you for a reason. They've happened to you because these are the stories and these are the experiences and these are the things that needed to happen to get you to where you are right now. And you can make a difference in the world. You can make a difference in your own life despite these things. In fact, you can make a difference in the world because of the things that have happened to you right now. So, and I'll give you another example with my own life. I'm from Venezuela. I don't know if you guys know anything about what's going on, but summarizing and making it as simple as possible, basically, there's a socialist dictatorship that has taken over the country, which has been like one of the richest countries in this hemisphere. Well, obviously not or South America, let's say it that way, and become one of the poorest countries in about 20 years. So from everything in abundance and wealth, where like you built a business in Venezuela and in 6 months you didn't get a return on investment, it was considered like a bad business. Like, that's how much money was in the country. It was insane. Everything was like lucrative, right? So it came from that to being one of the poorest countries where it's miserable and like millions of people are fleeing, and it's like the refugee crisis of the West or whatever. Anyways, I could have argued that I came from Venezuela and that like the country is in hell, so I can't be successful, or what. Like, I could have used so many limitations from the story that has been played for the past 20 years in my country. And I could have said, you know what? This crap is the reason why I'm not successful. I could have used all of it, but I didn't, because I refused to not stand in my power. I refused to not live a life that is just that is less than what it needs to be, because I know that I have within me everything that it takes to be remarkable, even if I'm scared, even if I'm not ready, even if I don't know shit about what I'm doing. Because there's things, of course, that I never, like when I started, I knew nothing about online marketing. Like, obviously I didn't know anything about it, and I had to study, and I had to prepare myself, and I had to invest, and I had to hire coaches, and I had to hire people, and I had to work with whomever I could get my hands on. Like, I spent so much money and so much time obsessing over my business until I learned, and testing. And Laura, she can be attest to this as one of my clients. Like, everything that I learn, I give. Like, everything that I learn and I use and I test and it works for me, I turn around and I say to my clients, okay, this worked because of this. Like, I would never give something that I knew nothing about or I know nothing about, right? But I'm really, really committed to making it work for me, and really, really committed to making sure that my clients get results, because that matters to me. People matter to me. So all the crap, all the limitations that I could have used and said, no, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about online marketing, so I'm going to go work at McDonald's. And there's nothing out of integrity about working with McDonald's, right? But when you have the potential to be something more, playing small is too easy. Like, it's so freaking easy to say, nah, I'm just gonna stay here because I don't know this, or because the economy, or because the president, or because whatever. Oh, I have kids, I don't have time, which is another common thing. Like, there's so many excuses, and the excuses might be all true. The economy is a shit show in Venezuela. The president is like a really bad president. I do have kids. I don't have that much time, and yet I make multiple 5 figures a month, and I've been able to make $500,000 in the last year and a half, maybe, or less than a year and a half. I've been able to do this in my own business despite all these things. And if I can do this, you can bet your ass that you can do this, because I'm not an alien. Like, I'm not some weird thing that is overprivileged and has access to something that you don't have access to. Well, I do have access to my knowledge, obviously, but if I can do this, you can absolutely do the same. Now, obviously, for me to be able to get here, I didn't do it alone. I've had support, I've had mentors, I've followed people who have led me to where I am. I've done all of these things that have led me here. And most importantly, I have taken action and done the work. Like, I have implemented like an insane person, day after day after day, and doing anything and everything that I can to implement and test and see it worked, it didn't work, and just being committed to getting results, right? So what you need to do, if you're like, okay, I know these limitations are real, I know this crap is here, but I'm refusing to let that stop me from doing or getting to where I need to be, because this is my purpose, and because these people need to be served by me, and because these lives need to be changed thanks to what I'm doing, or I need to pay, I need to make money for my family, or whatever, whatever it is that's driving you, right? If you're refusing that, you definitely need to take action, and you need to take action with somebody that has led the way before you and that can lead the way for you, so that you're not lost, because you have no time to waste. Like, I wasted so much time in the beginning like an idiot, and you have to learn the way in which you have to learn. That's fine. But now I look back and I think, like, oh my God, like, really, I spent money on this, I spent money on that, I spent time on this. Obviously, you learn through your own experience, and that's it. Like, nobody could have explained it to me better. But when you look at the way that I've built my business today, and again, Laura or anybody else that's been my client knows this, I do it in a way where we have a start to finish solution. Like, everything is covered, from mindset to, which, there's a lot of mindset involved in building a business, FYI, in case you didn't know. But from mindset to defining your foundation to building that certainty and that confidence in yourself, just like I can tell you right now, like, I am the best at what I do, right? That's what I want you to feel too. So having that confidence in yourself and in what you are doing every single day of your life and in your business, and knowing, you know what, I am so freaking good. I am this authority. Like, really believing in that, to, you know, defining and understanding your audience, to really building an offer that actually gets people results. Because it's not just about, let me just sell this because whatever, but about really caring about people, right? Like that is what really genuinely matters. To building the brand and building everything, to making sure that you're positioning yourself, to marketing yourself, to building your visibility so people can see you. Like when you work with me, it's like everything is involved. Everything. It's like a plug and play almost, kind of, but there's every part of the process that is involved in here, because I don't want you to suffer the way that I suffered at the beginning, especially with this kind of notion when you have to like hire 50 people to get a result and to get things, and you're like, wait, I have to hire a designer, and then I have to hire this person to help me with copywriting, and then I have to work with this other person, and it's like, what the heck? Like, how many people do I need to hire? This sucks, right? Like when I look at all the investments that I've done, I've had to invest on like so many different people, and everybody has a view and direction, and no, this is the way to build a business. No, this is the way to build a business. So what I would say is, look at the person that you resonate with the most in terms of what you want for yourself. And that's what you need to focus on. But coming back to what I was talking about in terms of your limitations, I get the fear. Like, I get it. Don't for a second believe you. I mean, you can look at me right now and think, oh God, Fabi has it all figured out. Like she's, you know, she's cool or whatever you want to think. She has it all figured out. But I do not always have it all figured out. Number one. Number two, I still don't have it all figured out at times. You know, I'm still human. I still have moments when I'm like, shoot, what am I going to do about this? Or like, you know, whatever. Like, I still have moments when I feel like that. But despite any fear, despite anything that has been going on, I keep on moving forward. This has been a process. It's easy to look at people like after chapter 10 and be like, wow, like look at this person. But you should have seen me back in my chapter 0. Like, I get it. It is really darn scary. It is scary to take a chance on yourself. It's scary. Like, it feels literally as if you're free falling. I remember there was this GIF. It really felt like it defined what was going on. It was this kind of animation of somebody that was about to fall through a hole, and she kept running back, or he or whatever. It was like a non-denominational whatever, like person crawling out of this hole, and it was a gift that was ongoing of this person like that was almost gonna fall. And I remember I told my husband once, this person, like this image, it feels like what I feel. Like, I feel like I'm always gonna fall, on the verge of falling. It feels like I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know, that's what it felt like. And I don't know if you have felt like that before or not. And it sucks so much. Like having that feeling of like you're always falling. It's like but the shoe is gonna drop, or like, okay, I got a client here, but is it gonna last? And is it gonna be okay? And am I really connecting? And I made this happen, but am I gonna really make it happen again? And it is so frustrating not knowing what to do. And for me, what I have obsessed with over the years has been, okay, yes, all this crap, all these fears, I could have quit. Like, I should have quit probably a million years ago, but I didn't, and I haven't, and I never will. And there's two reasons. Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, I do not want to be a quitter in the face of my daughters, ever. I mean, obviously right now I have success, and it's easy for me to say, well, obviously I'm not quitting. But that's one of the reasons. Number two is I can't quit on the people that still need me. There's too many people out there that need me. So yes, the fears, the crap, the beliefs, the limitations, the excuses, all of that stuff is real. But also what is real is that out there are thousands of people that need some Fabi in their lives, right? There are thousands of people that need my message to be able to do the things that they're meant to be doing. And if I quit, I'm quitting on them. And then third is, this is my passion. I could never quit when I love it. But anyways, like, I love it too much. All of this to say is, yes, the fears are true. Yes, the limitations are true. Yes, the crap that you've been through is true. The stories, all the stuff, it is true. And yet, it still doesn't matter. You still cannot let those things define you. You can't let those things stop you, because you are meant to be doing something really, really big. And you choose what the heck you're going to make out of your life. You're the one that chooses. Do not let the crap make a decision for you. Do not let it, like, look at all these cases of like these massive success stories like Oprah and Tony Robbins and the guy from the Will Smith movie, Pursuit of Happiness, Chris Gardner, like all these stories of these people that have been through hell. Like I can tell you from some of my clients, some of their stories are, wow, like stories that I can say, oh my God, I can't believe that you've overcome this much. And yet they're keeping on going forward. And yet these people have made, some of them, $1 billion, like Oprah, $1 billion business, right? Despite the stories, despite the fears, despite the beliefs, despite the crap and the limitations and all the excuses, which are true, but they still didn't stop her. So all of this to say that I do not want you to have these stories and limitations stop you. And if you need my help to help you or take you to be this bigger version of yourself, the version and the person that you deserve to be right this very minute, go to fabipaulini.com/call to book a call with me and my amazing team. And if you've spoken to my team, you know that my team is like amazing. And let's look at what's going on in your life and how to turn all of the things that have been going on or have happened, or your stories or experience, into your life purpose and make a living out of it and turn that business into something truly amazing where you get to make an impact and change the world. I promise you, I can help you do it. And I'm amazing at it too. So anyways, don't let any of these stories and limitations stop you. If they didn't stop me, and if they didn't stop Oprah, they can't stop you either. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Ciao.